Okay, so today we're supposed to do some cross country. We're supposed to go to Red Deer to Camrose. The weather's not the greatest near the last leg of the trip, so we're gonna end up doing some circuits here at Parkland, and I'm also gonna do a few precautionary landing scenarios. Go through the whole flow and what that looks like in the plane. So on this takeoff, we're going to do something called a soft field takeoff. So this is to simulate if, we're on a grass strip, what kind of procedure maneuver we're going to be doing in the plane. So what I'm going to do right now, as you can see, I have full back pressure on the yoke, and this is to keep the nose wheel off the ground, right? So I'm going to center up here, the runway. There's no crosswind, that's good. So we're going to keep that nose on the end of the runway. Full power, airspeed's alive, gauge is in the green, okay. Okay, so we're off the ground now. I'm going to transition to something called a ground effect, so I'm going to push the nose down and try to fly over the center of the runway. So there's 70, I'm looking for 74. There's 74 knots, and we're climbing out. Parking traffic, Foxtrot Echo Golf Uniform, airborne, clear, 26. When I'm climbing out here, I don't want to just do a straight astronaut climb out. I want to be a controlled climb. I want to stay flying directly runway heading, which is the direction of the runway. Once I get 400 feet above ground level, which is 2,700 feet, it's coming up here, we're going to raise our flaps. Raising our flaps, your nose is going to drop. Safe altitude, safe airspeed. 1 notch of trim to stop the nose from dropping. We're at 28, we're going to turn our crosswind. So we're turning right, we're going to be flying a rectangle, per se, if you want to call it. Imagine an imaginary racetrack in the sky. I'm still climbing. Circuit height here at Parkland is 3,300, so 1,000 above the elevation. So that's what my target. I'm climbing to 3,300 while turning. Parking traffic, Foxtrot, Echo Golf Uniform, turning right downwind, 26, stop and go. On the downwind right now. Slowly take this power back. Circuit power, which is 2,100 RPM. Okay, so we're at circuit power. We'll pull the wings. Trim out the aircraft. Right now, aircraft's flying itself. So we're going to do our landing checklist. Landing checklist consists of fuel selector valve on both. Make sure it's full rich in case we need to go around. Landing lights on, taxi lights on. Bags are on both, brake check. Okay, want your altitude here, let's get back up. Circuit, drift a bit. Just putting the aircraft a little bit away from my track just so I don't get blown towards Parkland. Okay, so there's 3-3. 95 knots, perfect. We're about to be abeam the runway. So I'm going to pull the power back and set up for my landing configuration. So I'm calling on a lot of speeds here. So power is coming back to 1,600 RPM. When the power comes back, you got to change the angle of attack. So it means I got to pull the nose from dropping. I'm going to go below 110 airspeed, flaps 10. 1 notch of trim. We're going to pitch for 70 knots. There's 70 right there. Okay, 70 knots, perfect. Turning towards our sweet spot. So the sweet spot is a spot we've kind of already identified that we want to be in these scenarios, because these short field landing situations normally sometimes happen precautionary, emergency, so you're not going to be that far out, right? And you want to land as soft and slow as possible. So we're on the base. We're going to go flaps 20. I haven't touched the power yet. Flaps 20, nose is going to rise. I'm going to catch it at 65. 65, 65, 65. Perfect. Okay, 65. So I still have one more notch of flaps, which will slow me down, but I'm not going to put it in just yet because that's also going to allow me to descend faster. So because I'm not really gauged and centered up, I don't really know how high or low I am. So we're going to start turning final soon here. Pargo traffic, Foxtrot Echo Golf uniform, turning short final, 2-6, touch and go with the back turn. So I'm still trying to fight for that 65. Just center up here. Center up here, center up here. Alrighty. Get a little bit on center. Perfect. So I'm on center. Picture looks good, but the numbers are moving down. So we're gonna go full flaps. We still pitch for 65. Okay. Slowly bringing back the power. I want the picture to stay the same as I'm coming up on the runway, but I don't want to force the nose down because that's going to make me go faster. So I want to kind of control the rate of descent. So I'm aiming for that second arrow. Okay, a little fast, a little fast. Okay, perfect. Okay, here's the second arrow. We're going to flare. And if you notice at the end, I kind of add a little power just to kind of, on a grass strip, you're not going to have a lot of traction, right? So you're going to want to try to guide the plane in so it doesn't get stuck in mud or anything like that, and try to like smooth out that landing. So that's how you do a soft field landing in a Cessna 172. So yeah, once again, thank you so much for watching. Our next lesson that I'm going to be practicing, that I've learned, is we're going to go over some precautionary approaches. So what to do if you got to do a landing at an airport, you know, maybe your passenger gets sick, or you notice something's not too right with the plane, so you're making the call before it becomes an emergency. So something that's not immediate danger, but you're making a choice to change it up, for lack of a better term. So yeah, we'll go ahead and practice out in the next lesson. Thanks, everybody.